It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
And thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl, Prince George's County's own science quiz program. Test your science literacy and see how many of these questions you can answer today. Today is a special day. The two teams playing have won once previously. We're just beginning our elementary school competition, and both the teams will be vying for a chance to move on in our competition to the semifinals and maybe, just maybe, an eventual county championship in this, our 38th year of competition. Here on the Science Bowl, we have 6 categories of questions, and before I tell you about those, let's meet the students playing today's game. Let's go first to Beacon Heights and say hello to Halen. Halen, nice to have you back here. They're all wearing matching shirts over there at Beacon Heights. Carlos is their wonderful captain, and Amaya, she is a great player. She's back as well. They'll be playing against Capitol Heights Elementary. Say hello to Atticus over there, captained by Dwayne, and Nicholas is over there, who has a little brother who's the future of Science Bowl. Maybe we'll see him a little bit later in the program here. We have 6 categories of questions on the Science Bowl. Let's share those with you now.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here in the Science Bowl, our easier questions are worth 5 and 10 points. The tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. We start our teams out with 50 points. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. End of the 2 rounds, we will have a competitor to move on to the semifinals. Make sure everything works properly before we start. Carlos, give that button a push. All right, looks and sounds good. Good luck to the Beacon Heights team. Dwayne, how about the green team's buzzer? A-OK over there as well. Good luck to you guys. Congratulations for making it this far in the competition. You guys don't have anything to prove. We know how good you are. Let's just have a great game here. You're all winners in my eyes and everybody watching. We go alphabetically. B comes before C. So Beacon Heights and Carlos, let's play this bowl. Go.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points to start us out. Multiple choice. Since the enzyme lysozyme in your snot kills or stops bacterial infections in the nose, is that enzyme an antiseptic, an antipyretic, or an antihistamine? Beacon Heights, lots of antis there.
The first one?
The first one, an antiseptic, is absolutely correct. Yes, indeed. Good. Go. Red.
Let's get physical for 20.
Physical for 20 points. The weight of water means that this increases the deeper you go. Beacon Heights.
The water pressure?
The pressure, absolutely right. Good plan. Good. Go. Red.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo for 15 points. One of my favorite insects, the bombardier beetle, sprays a boiling hot chemical from this last. Capitol Heights has rung in. What do you want to tell me, Dwayne? Let me finish the question for Beacon Heights. The bombardier beetle sprays a boiling hot chemical from this last of its 3 body sections at any animal trying to eat it. What you got, Carlos? It's the abdomen. Insects are divided into head, thorax, and abdomen. It's out of the abdomen where that caustic chemical comes. All right, go again, Red.
Science Potpourri for 20.
Potpourri, 20 points. This sounds really strange. If you ever get leg cramps in bed at night or after exercising, one of the surefire ways to get relief is to take a swig of pickle juice. It's one of these kinds of chemicals, like apple cider vinegar, Dwayne.
Acid.
Yeah, it's an acid. Good. Okay, green. Go. Dwayne.
Body systems for 25.
Body for 25 points. The P in the disease COPD stands for what body system that is also affected by emphysema and asthma? What is the P? Beacon Heights for 25 points.
Patella gland.
I'm sorry?
Pachytoma maya.
Patella gland?
Say it?
Patella gland?
No. What is the P initial system, body system, affected by emphysema and asthma that's in the disease with the acronym COPD?
Pulmonary.
Pulmonary, that's right. Pulmonary disease. Good. Go. Green.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo Parade for 20 points. All right. Capitol Heights has a 10-point lead. This is the Zoo Parade question for 20 points. Whales that beach themselves on the sand. It's awful to see. They can't survive because the weight of their bodies on land crushes their organs, making it almost impossible for them to do what? Almost impossible for them to do what, Beacon Heights?
Breathe.
Breathe, absolutely right. The pressure on their lungs, they cannot expand their lungs. Nicely done. Tie score. Ooh, 105, you have a 10-point lead. Go, Carlos.
Dateline science for 15. Dateline science for 15.
Dateline science for 15 points. World War II's atomic bomb was the result of what F initial process?
Fusion.
Say it again.
Fusion.
No, not fusion. Beacon Heights, World War II's atomic bomb was the result of what F initial process that saw the splitting of atomic nuclei into smaller units that released energy. Beacon Heights.
Fission.
Fission is right. Yes, yeah. I think that's what you guys meant to say. You jumped in with fusion too soon there. All right, Beacon Heights, you have the advantage. Go.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. All right. A recent study showed that the shark least likely to bite you in an unprovoked attack is one like these, like Anchor, the character in Finding Nemo.
Hammerhead shark.
A hammerhead shark, absolutely right. Remember, he tried to be a vegetarian and he didn't make it. All right, go Capitol Heights. Atticus, you all right over there? We need all three people. All right, up and working and having a good time here. Okay, Dwayne, go.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25, big one in that category. It's a visual question. Look at the monitor. Today, just 4 crops supply 2/3 of all the human calories on Earth. Wheat, rice, corn, and these S-initialed legumes. Capitol Heights, what are they? You rang in, you had an idea. Beacon Heights, 2/3 of the calories consumed on Earth come from 4 plants. Wheat, rice, corn, and these S-initialed legumes introduced from China in the early 1900s.
Sprouts.
Soybeans. Soybeans is the 4th one. The buzzer is rung. We've come to the end of our first round. It's a very close game. 120 for Beacon Heights and 105 for Capitol Heights. We'll be right back. The Battle of the Heights continues. And welcome back to the Science Bowl, this very important game where we're trying to determine who moves on to the semifinals. 2 great schools, Beacon Heights and Capitol Heights, 120 to 105, almost a dead heat. Before we ask any more science questions, a few personal ones. If you did not have the pleasure of meeting these young people in the previous show, let's introduce them to you again. Let's go over to Beacon Heights, and Carlos, tell us the Beacon Heights story. You have a great coach. Tell us about him. What's his name?
His name is
Mr. Brown, right? And Mr. Brown. And you guys all are wearing these wonderful sweatshirts there. And what's the character on the front?
His name is Terry.
Yeah. It's some kind of a beefed up turtle? Yeah. And on the back are all the names of the members of the team here. Yeah, Mr. Brown goes all out to make this a really immersive and wonderful experience for his kids. Who's the principal at your school?
Dr. Walker.
Dr. Walker, yeah, she's so proud of you guys. And any alternates on your team, Carlos?
We have Joshua, Lauren, and Olalekan.
Wow, an integral part of this team here. What did you guys do to prepare to be on the Science Bowl? This is like your 4th time on here, Carlos. You're a veteran. You play the game so well. What do you do to prepare if you want to share your trade secrets?
So we watch a lot of Bill Nye's. We watch the Science Bowl a lot, and we try to we get buzzers, and then we try to buzz in before the other team and answer the question.
Yeah, so you make it a simulation just like this. So do you have a shadow team? Do you play against 3 other students? That's great. And Carlos, someday you want to do something what?
I don't really know yet, but I think I want to be a soccer player.
Yeah, well, you're going to be successful whatever you do. You have a calmness about you, a discipline. You're a great captain, and I can see why you're here many times. We love having you. Amaya, nice to have you here. You seem to know an awful lot about science. How do you know so much science?
Well, I know a lot about science because my science teacher has taught me about it, and sometimes I also get knowledge from my other teammates who might know the question that I don't know and correct me.
3 heads are better than 1, right? You know, it's always good to be in a team, and you guys are personifying what teamwork is about. I like how you work together. And someday, what are you going to do?
So I want to work in the forensics field, so I want to either be a neurologist or some type of scientist that deals with the body.
Yeah. Do you ever watch some of those CSI programs?
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of forensics involved in that. Heck, there are even botanical forensics who they find pollen and parts of plants to help them solve crimes. So it's a great field. Nice to have you here. Halen, tell us your story. I know you like to read, and you like to, what else do you like to do?
Well, I also like studying more about science so I can get more knowledge about different things.
Yeah. Would you ever consider being a scientist?
Yeah, possibly.
Possibly, yeah. You got a lot of years to live yet and a lot of decisions to make. Hopefully this will influence you in a good way, whether you go into science or not. I hope this is a good experience because you know what this teaches you? You know, photosynthesis, if you know about that, that's not going to get you too far in life. But being a good sportsman is going to get you far in life. And poise under pressure, teamwork, these are skills that are as important as learning about science. Halen, you're doing a nice job here today. Thanks for being on our show. Dwayne, tell us the Capitol Heights story. Who's your coach?
Our coach is Miss Nagaya.
The one and only, yes. Miss Daisy out there, and she works so hard with you guys. And she's been with us for many, many years. We appreciate her support. Who's your new principal?
Our new principal is Miss Berry.
Wonderful. And I know she's very proud of you guys. And tell us about any alternates on your team.
Our alternate is Kalia.
Yeah, she's out there. And she was finally smiling. She was kind of grim-faced when she came in, but you guys have put the smiles on her face. You're doing a nice job. Tell me something about Capitol Heights that you like to do. The reason why you go to school in the morning. What can't you wait to do?
I like talking to my friends, and it's really fun to go to Capitol Heights.
Yeah. What a beautiful thing to say. And you know, without your friends there, it's not a school. You know, you need to talk to your soulmates when you get there. Dwayne, you're doing a nice job here today. What do you want to do someday?
I want to become a computer engineer or NBA player.
You're going to be successful at that. And I like those shirts. Nicholas, did your mom design those shirts?
Yes.
It says the Science Bowl on there. It gives the school. You got a flask at the top there. It's just, it's beautiful. We love it. Thank you, Nicholas's mom, for what you did for us here today. Nicholas, while I have you, tell us a little bit about Nicholas. What do you do in your spare time?
In my spare time, I do coding, cooking. Well, I'm not a chef, but occasionally I cook.
Yeah. Before you say anything else, what do you like to cook?
Well, I usually like to cook.
Do you make breakfast ever?
Yes, I usually like to cook extravagant things.
Oh, like what? Give me an example.
Like one time I cooked churros with a certain vanilla and cinnamon.
Oh, that sounds good.
I
can taste it right now, just hearing you say that. How do you know so much science, Nicholas?
I have loved science since I pretty much was born. I've watched The Magic School Bus, Bill Nye, a lot of other science shows that I can't remember right now.
Well, you obviously watched a lot and you remembered a lot because you're showing us that here today, Nicholas. Good luck to you in the second half. Atticus, tell us why you want to be on the Science Bowl. We're glad you're here. Why'd you want to do it?
I didn't really know that this was a thing until Miss Nagaya took me out of class one day and told me about it and said that I had been recommended by one of my teachers.
She chose well. So we're a thing. Yeah, we've been a thing for a long time, and we hope that you'll come back and play our game many times because you're good at this. How do you know so much science, Atticus?
I have this big book. I read the science magazines and stuff, but the main thing I know science from is watching the Magic School Bus. I watched that a lot when I was little.
Isn't that a great show?
And Storybots.
Yes, and I know you're a web designer, and I can tell you're really good with computers over there. Let's get back at the game. 105 Capitol Heights, 120 Beacon Heights. Last correct answer came from that green team. You're 15 points back. Dwayne, go.
Zoo Parade for 25.
All right, and the lead. Zoo Parade for 25 points. The giraffe's horns are called ossicones that eventually turn into bone, but at first are made of this C initialed gristly substance.
Cartilage.
Capitol Heights.
Cartilage.
Cartilage is right. Yes, indeed. All right. That means you have a lead at the moment. Capitol Heights, go.
Let's get physical for 25.
Physical, 25 points. Big one in that category. The fastest possible speed of an object as it falls freely occurs when drag from the air perfectly counters gravity. It is known as the object's terminal what? Terminal what? Capitol Heights.
Velocity.
Yes, sir. That's exactly right. Good. Go.
Potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points. Barbie dolls are made almost entirely of different kinds of these oil-derived materials like PVC, polyvinyl chloride. Capitol Heights.
Plastics.
Yes, they are plastics. That is one kind of plastic. Good. Go.
Dateline Science for 25.
For 25 points in Dateline Science. All right. Get ready, Carlos. Let's get back in this game here. To measure the color temperature of an LED light bulb, scientists use what same K initial units. Yes. Capitol Heights. What you got? Let me repeat that for Beacon Heights. To measure the color temperature of an LED light bulb, scientists use the same K initial units of measuring temperature that are related to the Celsius scale.
Kilowatts.
Good try. Kelvin. It's called Kelvin. Kelvin is a different kind of temperature scale. Go again. Green.
Green things for 20.
Green things, 20 points. Here's your question. If you want to hand pollinate a strawberry crop, if you're a gardener, you can use your fingers, a paintbrush, cotton swab to transfer the pollen from the stamens outside the flower to this P initialed female part inside the flower.
Pistil.
Capitol Heights.
Pistil.
The pistil is correct. Yes, indeed. Good. Go. Green.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems, 20 points. The pain of a person suffering from biliary colic comes from these kinds of stones trying to push their way through. What kind of stones, Beacon Heights?
Kidney stones.
Not kidney stones, no. They're painful too. The pain of a person suffering from biliary colic comes from these kinds of stones trying to push their way through the body's bile duct.
Bile stones.
Oh, that's so close. They're actually called gallstones. That was probably on the tip of your tongue that you were trying to stay. Good try, no points. Go again, green.
Dateline Science for 20.
Dateline, 20 points, is a visual question. Look at the monitor, please. Prepare to be scared. In the Devonian geological era, long before the dinosaurs, this armored fish, the Dunkleosteus, terrorized the sea and was the largest of the creatures at that time that belonged to what V initialed phylum. What V initialed phylum? Capitol Heights. Talk among yourselves, Beacon Heights. I may have to come to you here. Any idea?
Vial.
No. Beacon Heights. Remember, these preceded the dinosaurs. And at the time, they terrorized the sea. They were the largest of the creatures that belonged to what V initialed phylum?
Vertebrates?
Yes, sir. Vertebrates. They had backbones. That's the way to do it, Carlos. Come on. You got some making up to do.
Science potpourri for 15.
Science potpourri for 15 points. Here's that question for you. Despite its bad reputation in this country, snake oil has been used in traditional Chinese medicine for a long time. The oil's omega-3 fatty acids help prevent inflammation associated with this A initial crippling disease. Capitol Heights.
Arthritis.
Arthritis is correct, yes, of the skeleton. Good, go, green.
Green things for 15.
Green for 15 points. People in Holland once paid huge sums of money and even resorted to crime to get the bulbs of these familiar Dutch flowers that we see at Easter. Capitol Heights.
Tulips.
Tulips is right. Yes, sir. Good. Go.
Let's get physical for 15.
Physical for 15 points. Interesting. You know, if you saw Barbie or know about Barbie, that she loves pink. But you don't see pink on a rainbow, because to get that color, you have to mix what two colors are? Yes, Carlos.
Red and white.
Not red and white, no. To get pink, you have to mix what two colors, Capitol Heights, at the opposite ends of the rainbow?
Red and purple.
Red and purple, absolutely, or red and blue. Yes, indeed. Good. Good comeback. Go, green.
Green things for 10.
Green for 10. Instead of having the normal number of 2 chromosomes in each of the cells, many of the bananas and the watermelons we eat today have been bred to have an odd number, meaning no fertilization takes place. And we get to eat fruit that contains no what? Capitol Heights.
Seeds.
Seeds. Seedless watermelons, seedless bananas. Yeah. Good. Go. Green.
Zoo parade for 10.
Zoo for 10. The mythological creature by the name of Cerberus was a polycephalic dog, meaning it had what? What did it have, Beacon Heights?
3 heads.
It had 3 heads. You got that right. Come on, Beacon Heights, let's go. Red.
Body systems for 10.
Body for 10. If a person is jaundiced, they look yellow. It's a symptom of disease in this largest internal organ. Beacon Heights.
Large intestine.
Not large intestine. The liver is correct. Good comeback there, Capitol Heights. Good. Go.
Get physical for 10.
Physical for 10 points. Clouds, once described in a song as ice cream castles in the sky, are collections of water droplets and ice crystals that form around pieces of dust in a process that is the opposite of evaporation.
Condensation. Condensation.
Condensation. Yeah, they're called condensation nuclei. Yes, sir. Good. Go, Dwayne.
Potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10. Pyrophoric chemicals like iridium might, if found in dragons' mouths, let them breathe this.
Fire.
Capitol Heights.
Fire.
Yeah, pyro was your clue there. That's it. Good. Green.
Green things for 5.
Green for 5. The clover plant is said to bring good luck if you find a clover that is quadrifolia. Beacon Heights.
4 leaves.
If it is a 4-leaf clover, that's right. Okay. Come on, Beacon Heights. We've got a couple questions left. Let's get them all.
Dayline science for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. Question is, to pollinate the flowers on pear trees when there aren't enough insects around, farmers are using these flying robots to do the job by blowing soapy bubbles onto the flowers. Capitol Heights.
Drones.
Drones, yeah, they're using drones to pollinate. That's it. Nice done. Nicely done. Go, Dwayne.
Body systems for 5.
Body for 5. One of my favorite shows used to be Mythbusters. On one episode of Mythbusters, they showed that a rope made from this would have enabled Rapunzel to climb down from her tower and save herself.
Flax.
Not flax, no. A rope made of what would have let Rapunzel get out of her tower and save herself?
Hair.
Hair, yeah, make a rope out of hair. Good. Okay, zoo or let's get physical? Which one?
Let's get physical.
Let's get physical for 5 points. It's a joke. If one of these listen to me, Atticus. If one of these subatomic particles walked into a restaurant and ordered a hamburger and then asked, how much? A generous cook might say, for you, no charge. Capitol Heights.
Neutrons. No, what? Neutrons.
A neutron, yeah, because it has no charge. Absolutely right. Last question of the game, Zoo Parade for 5 points. Sometimes you get 2 animals in one animal's name, like a catfish, a spider monkey, and a high-jumping rat named for this famous Capitol Heights. What you got? Beacon Heights. Sometimes you get two animals in one name, like a catfish, a spider monkey, and a high-jumping rat named for this famous Australian marsupial.
Kangaroo.
A kangaroo rat are the two animals you get in one. That's exactly right. We've come to the end of our game. We'll double-check that score and be back with you in just one moment. Don't go away. And welcome back. We were expecting a great game, and that's exactly what we got. Two outstanding schools, both from different heights here, and they reached the heights of scientific excellence here today. We are proud of all of them. Our final tally today is Beacon Heights 170, Capitol Heights 295. Congratulations to Capitol Heights. Capitol Heights, the last time you won a county championship was in 1990. That's been a long time ago. You won in 1987 as well. It could be this is the first step to a third county championship. You did a terrific job. Dwayne, who's up there with you?
This is our alternate, Kalia.
Yep.
This is our coach, Miss Nagaya.
This is Gaia, yes?
This is Nicholas' brother, Sebastian. And this is Atticus' brother,
Some
Calvin.
future Science Bowl players there. Thanks for bringing your siblings along here today. And let's have a huge round of applause for the Beacon Heights team. They are just tremendous. Carlos and Halen and Amaya. And tell us who's back there, Carlos. Give us some build-up.
My coach is Mr. Brown, and the alternates are Lauren, Joshua, and Olalekon.
And they're proud of you, Carlos. You were a wonderful captain here today. And, you know, you made it this far in the competition, and you have your teammates to thank for that, and Mr. Brown as well. We thank you for watching today, and we hope you join us again on another edition of Science Bowl. Until then, I'm Dave Zarin. Bye-bye.